All right, is everyone settled down? Not yet? Okay. That's so good. So I'm gonna give a pretty quick talk. Oh, it's not over there. Okay. I'm gonna give a pretty quick talk about design systems, and it's gonna be pretty hard to top these two guys off. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'll just start with, I guess, how many of you guys have worked with design systems before? Pretty good number. Okay, so for those who aren't, maybe you will get inspired and maybe start with designing your own design system for your own personal project, because it really takes out a lot of boilerplate out of your, out of your journey, because you will you have been ending, you end up with the same thing over and over again, like designing the same button here and there and margins and stuff like that. So that's what basically design system solves. It has like a structure, and it's like kind of the source of truth. That's where it fits in your life cycle of front end. All right. So yeah, when I started when I started to learn CSS first, so that was the kind of circle I went through. You start by vanilla CSS, and then you learn about something like Bootstrap. Does anyone know Bootstrap? Okay. So it's basically opinionated CSS utility tool. It gives you out of the box, which is something that design system gives as well. But Bootstrap can make your journey of starting off at first very I guess quicker. So you can just spin up a website in maybe a day or two if you just if you're working on a single page application. So yeah, so I started from writing vanilla CSS, then I jumped into Bootstrap, and when I was in that journey, I felt that I was kind of lacking on the fundamentals. Like if you jump into Bootstrap straight away, you will not get the full picture of how CSS works in behind the scenes. Like you might be in confused on stuff like margin or padding, or even like display flex or display grid. That kind of stuff are I guess put behind the scenes when you're working on Bootstrap. And then from that, I went back into vanilla CSS. But then I started to work as a front-end dev a year and a half ago. I was back again to the Bootstrap land, because in big corps and companies of that nature has already built their tools on top of a design system. So it's kind of it's kind of like Bootstrap, but they have sort of their own flavor on top of it. And that would be the source of truth, I guess you can call it. And all right, so when you look into design, maybe I'll share this screen over here as well. So this is what hang on. So this is what Bootstrap gives you out of the box as well. So you can see it's so hard to hang on. So this is what Bootstrap might give you. Like you can just copy paste a button component like this and import it from Bootstrap itself, and that is similar in nature how a design system will work as well. But design system might have, like, but this is just an example. This is what my company has defined on their system. So you have everything that flows from here to your Figma, and that'll be the source of truth, and you will just use it as is. And maybe if you need something like a new component or something like that, you might give a suggestion. But like this is how do I say it? The main thing, yeah. And we have done like stuff like this, spacing and stuff defined everywhere. Defined it over here as well, and you can even play around in this playground to see how it will look like and if it fails somewhere. So for example, the text might not look good when the background is white, so you can even like play around over here on stuff like this. let's make it bold and see how it will look like when it passes. Yeah. And it's just not, colors. That's pretty cool, this one. This will go through the whole step. This is just an example for the top part, the top navigation part on one of our application journey. And you can just import it, stuff like this, like just import it and you'll use it on your code base itself. Let's go back over here. So yeah, it's more than just buttons and colors. You can compare it, like, I guess, with UI, Material UI. Material UI is also, I guess, if you want to start for yourself, adding it into your, your own personal project, you can bring this off and maybe tweak it a bit for your liking. Like, you can use design tokens, which is in my next slide. Anyway, yeah, I guess just start with maybe Material UI or Bootstrap as when you're first starting, and you just build on top of it and change it to your liking. And this is one of the thing that it solves as well. Like, for example, if your company might have 5 different teams doing the same thing, and they might build the same thing a bit differently, and they might think that their one is the correct one. So this is what the design system solves as well. It will have one source of truth, and you just it will cascade down to all of the different teams and repositories. Same thing over here. One button, everyone moves faster. And yeah, this is what I was talking about, using tokens. So because everything is defined in one place, you just change the source of truth, and it will. So for example, the color text for the primary button color text, there might be a new requirement of changing that. You can just define it on the design system itself, and the thing will flow into different, I guess, repos or different teams. And yeah, so you focus. You're not focusing on designing a button or or how the different components look like, but you're solving the bigger problem over here. Like, there might be a new thing added to a payment page or stuff like that. That is what we will be solving, I guess, not the pixel problems. And yeah, design system might so. We need to look at it's not a finished project, I guess. It will evolve. It will evolve as your product evolves. So yeah, so it will never be finished. That's what I'm trying to say. So treat it as unfinished project, or like a product. And yeah, so for example, when I got started, it was really easy for me to pick up on the existing projects, because I was not focusing mostly on individual CSS files, but be looking at the project holistically. So it was very easy to onboard new developers, and also it will be easier to code reviews and stuff for existing devs. And yeah, the biggest benefit is not a prettier UI, so you will have less conversation about with your engineers about the design itself, but more about solving the bigger problem over here. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions?